So welcome to everyone. My name is Laura Garrison-Brook, and this is a heart class. Laura says she's hungover, but here. It sounds like your Saturday was wilder than mine, Laura. Oh, yay! My stepmother and Cooper are there. It sounds like Burmett's at work. That's right, Cindy brought Burmett to work. Cindy kept Cooper and Burmett last night because Dan and I were out on a date night, which was lovely. Thank you, Cindy. Thank you. Good morning, Cooper. So let's come to a seat. Let's see how my camera does when I angle my computer. Ooh. Oh, it's okay. It's not falling over yet. Hello, Carol. All right. It's doing okay. All right, good. I got a new camera, y'all. So let's take a seat and let's get centered. We've been working on the heart space. And I've got some really cool things to share with you today. But first, we're going to get centered. We're just going to settle in. Taking a nice easy seat, maybe grabbing a yoga block or a cushion if you have one. We're just going to be here for a few minutes. And feel your tailbone rooting down. Shoulders relax down in the body. And breathing here. Maybe taking Hrideya Mudra. Hrideya Mudra is when we roll our index finger in, like it's a little tiny snail. We kind of roll it in so it presses at the base of the thumb. And then we touch our thumb to our middle finger and our ring finger. And breathe. Backs of the hands are on the knees, palms are up. And if this Hrideya Mudra is a little too complicated for you, you can just take Gyan Mudra, which is when you make the OK sign with your index finger and your thumb. That's a classic. Nice big inhale. And let's do 3 Ohms as we just bring ourselves here, centered here in this moment. Nice big inhale. Release your mudra, whichever mudra you had in your hands, bringing the hands to Anjali Mudra, a gesture of devotion at the heart space. And we're just going to flow, leaving the eyes closed if that's comfortable with you. We're just going to flow and start to gently open the heart. So as we inhale, we're going to bring the arms back and really feel yourself arching the heart forward. Having this be gentle though. And then exhale and round back just a little bit and bring the hands into your heart. So we inhale, leaving the eyes closed, roll the eyes up and in. Exhale. And really draw attention to the heart space. We're going to talk this class. I've been thinking about all of you and about class this morning. And I've got a really cool analogy to share that talks about our experience of love and what love is. So we're inhaling and we're opening our heart. And we're exhaling and we're bringing our hands in, surrendering to love. We inhale and we open. And we exhale and we just let go and surrender. And do 3 more rounds. Feeling yourself dropping down here, having your intention to be present, to connect deeply with this heart opening practice. One more inhale. Open up the heart. And exhale. Hands to the heart space. Bringing those hands in. Rubbing the hands. This is supposed to be very energizing for the heart space, just rubbing the hands vigorously. It's supposed to bring energy, bring activity to anahata. Anahata means unstruck. It means that the heart is pure. The element for the heart is air. And one of the things that Anand says, and release. Feel the hands tingling. Maybe feel like you've got a ball of energy in front of you. Maybe feel the energy pouring off the heart. It might feel like you're kind of, you're connecting with your aura. It's like, and if you've never experienced it before, it kind of feels like, almost like there's a little bit of a magnetic pulse, as if your hands are being just gently repelled away from the body. That's what it feels like to me. Should feel pretty cool. And then release those hands down. So the element for anahata is air coming off your block. Set your block aside. Grounding the feet down here into your Tadasana, palm shine forward, tuck the tail. And one of the things that Anand says that's really interesting, inhale the arms up. And Anand Mehrotra is the teacher of the class that I'm taking. And just arch over, doesn't matter which direction, just starting to open up the spine, open up the ribs, stretching open the shoulders, the arms. Inhale, lift up. Side bending is so incredibly good for the spine. He talks about how the heart cannot be broken. The heart can be closed, but it can't be broken, because what he says is the element of heart is air, and you cannot break air. Now you can certainly experience pain, and as a result, close your heart down, but it can't be broken. Inhale, reach up. And exhale, come on down, forward fold. Soften those knees, first forward fold of the practice, so maybe sway from side to side, head hangs heavy. And just allow yourself to drape down here. So I've mentioned in our other classes, again, this is class 4 of our Anahata Chakra. And for those of you who haven't attended any of the classes, you are perfectly welcome. We're glad you're here. Inhale, arch up halfway, flat back. And exhale, release down. And step that right leg back. So Anand has mentioned that love is not an emotion. It's a state of consciousness. So really pouring energy down that right leg, left knee is right over the ankle, taking care of the knee, taking care of our ACL. And when I heard that, I was like, really? Really? Love is an emotion? Really? And I've been thinking more about that. Drop the knee down. So Anand has mentioned that Prakriti, P-R-A-K-R-I-T-I, if you're like me and you love to Google things and learn more about things, just drop those hips down. Set those hips back. Is a unified field of consciousness. It's like the quantum realm for those of us who love to geek out. And there's an intelligence to this unified field of consciousness, the universe. You know, you can also think of it as God. You can think of it as whatever suits and aligns with your belief system, your values. And exhale. Those hips back, toes rise up on the left. Breathe into those hamstrings. We're just warming up the legs. This is a pretty classic way that we often start class. Folding over that leg. So he talks about love being a state of consciousness. It's tied to prakriti. It's tied to, it's effectively available to us all of the time. It's always here. And, you know, when I was trying to kind of wrap my head around this, the analogy that I came up with this morning, which isn't going to work for Cooper, but hopefully it will work for most of us. Inhale those hips forward, drop the hips down. And one more time, exhale the hips back. I was thinking about an analogy that we could use to understand this better. And the analogy that I came up with is chocolate. So let's talk about love as if love is chocolate, okay? Which is why it doesn't work for Cooper. Because Cooper, I jokingly say that Cooper would rather eat dirt than chocolate. And he's like, Mom, that's not true. So I'm exaggerating a little bit, but he really doesn't like it. But most of us, I think, like chocolate. So if you don't like chocolate, sub out something else that you do like. Step that left foot back and come into your down dog and walk your dog out. Settling one heel down and then the other. So let's say that we do love chocolate. All right? Head's hanging heavy, just roll the head back and forth. Allowing the neck to release and relax. Tailbone rises up. The head hangs heavy. Really plug those hands into the mat. And let's step that right leg forward. Knees over ankle. Pouring energy down the left leg. So every time that we eat chocolate, we experience deliciousness. Okay? So we start thinking that chocolate, which is love, that's what we're using the analogy for love, that chocolate equals deliciousness. Chocolate is a thing, right? Deliciousness is our experience of the thing. And this is the kind of the same way with love. Drop the knee down. Love is something. But then what we experience is the feeling. And I think this is where Anand gets to the point that love is not an emotion, it's not a feeling. Love is a thing. That feeling we have in our heart, which we describe as love, the emotion, isn't love itself. It's our experience of chocolate, using the analogy chocolate. And to continue with this analogy, step those hips back, toes stay down on the right. Inhale it forward. Let's say that we have our chocolate distributors, okay? The people we get our chocolate from. Exhale it back, toes rise up. And those distributors might be our significant other, they might be our children, they might be our parents. These are the people who give us chocolate, whom we rely upon to give us chocolate. Okay? And depending on how that transaction goes, there might be some challenge around getting that chocolate. Right? There might be some times where they feel like, well, I'm giving you chocolate, so you have to give me blah, blah, blah. Exhale it back. Which means this experience of chocolate, this experience of love, can be challenging. And you can also have this sense of craving, this sense of neediness. Inhale it forward. Curl the back toes under. Ground the hands. Step it back, down dog. Walk your dog out. There can be this sense of reliance, almost like, oh my gosh, I really need my chocolate, and my child is the person who gives me my chocolate, or my husband, or my significant other, or my best friend gives me my chocolate, so I really need them. I rely upon them to get my chocolate. Glide forward, plank pose. And this just complicates everything, doesn't it? You know, and as we've already talked about, you know, there might be times when they say, well, for me to give you chocolate, you have to give me blah, blah, blah. And you might not want to give them blah, blah, blah. You might like, I just deserve the chocolate. Just please give it to me. And for those of you who are joining in late, you might be like, what's Laura talking about? We're talking about chocolate as if it's it symbolizes love. Symbolizes love. Breathing here in your plank. Feeling plank firing you up. Fueling the body. And obviously all of this stuff, this experience of love, this experience of chocolate. Remember what we said? We said that chocolate is a thing. Deliciousness is the experience of chocolate. Come on up into your down dog. Head hangs heavy. So you can be confusing, well, love is deliciousness. No, you know, chocolate is chocolate. Chocolate is a thing. Step that, bring that right leg back and up, stretch it up, reach it up, roll the foot on the ankle. And then step it forward. And then one day, you're having this, you have this epiphany. Maybe you have it on a yoga mat, you have it when you're meditating, you hear about it in a lecture, and you come to realize that this chocolate they have been giving you, okay, as delicious and wonderful as it is, breathing here in your Vera 1, really open the heart, feeling that beautiful squeeze through the back body. Another breath. And then fold over, arms float back like airplane wings. And inhale up. So this chocolate they've been giving you is almost a, like a shadow chocolate. It's delicious, right? Still delicious, but there is a much purer chocolate that is ultimately abundant that you can experience yourself. And that's prakriti. That's that universal consciousness. It's the ability for you to plug in to this consciousness, this state of consciousness which is love, which is loving, you know. And I was thinking about, like, you know, as we're having, you know, this experience of chocolate through our loved ones, straighten that leg. Hands on the hips, and again, open the heart. You could be also, you know, fighting yourself with this experience of chocolate. Oh, it's fattening. Oh, it's not good for me. Oh, it's expensive. Oh, it's this. Oh, it's that. Right? But this, you know, field, this consciousness, this way of experiencing love through this, you know, opening your heart so that you plug into this consciousness. That's something that doesn't rely upon the ego. It doesn't rely upon your loved ones. It's something that you can independently access. It sidesteps the ego. Breathe in here. And step the feet. And inhale, lift up. You know, and the thing that's so important, if you'd like, we took reverse Anjali Mudra yesterday. So if you can do that, you can bring the hands together behind the heart to really open the heart, or you can have the hands at the hips, bringing the elbows back. It's just about opening the heart, bowing the heart forward. The thing that's powerful about shifting to, this experience of true love, plugging into this consciousness, stepping off onto the right foot, both hands come down into your standing split. It means that you become much less needy for your chocolate supply to be from your loved ones. You still love your loved ones. There's nothing wrong with loving your loved ones. That's obviously human. It's normal. It's understandable. But when you rely upon them, inhale, lift up, that's where things can get kind of ugly, right? Stepping off onto the right foot. And the right hand comes down. I lost it for a second. There we go. Coming into balancing half moon. Stacking hip on hip. Really open up your wings. And that's what we're working towards here with opening our heart. It's about accessing, step that foot back, and inhale, lift up, warrior one. It's about accessing the ability to plug in to love. Plug into love as an experience, which is just about, you, me, individually experiencing love. The love that, this can be, come on down, into your down dog. This could be, if you believe in the divine, this could be like, connecting to the divine, connecting to the universe, connecting to spirit, connecting to source, connecting to Mother Earth. Whatever works with your belief system. Plugging into that source of love. And that's the kind of chocolate that's not going to make you fat. And it's not going to cost you anything. Breathing here. Glide forward, plank pose. And if you'd like, you can come down into child's pose, you can go up into down dog, or you can flow with me through a vinyasa. Really feeling your heart opening here in your Bhujangasana. Elbows have a little bit of a bend, hugging them in. Really breathe into the heart. Breathe into the back bend. And then, come on. Hello, Pinky and Newbie. Plugging the hands into the mat and come on down into your puppy dog stretch. Again, open the heart. Open the heart. Maybe your forehead comes all the way down onto the mat. Maybe it comes down onto a block. Pressing the hands in, opening the heart. What would it look like? Plug the hands in, curl the toes, lift the hips. It's through this connection to a consciousness where you're able to connect to love, that you can then experience love in a way that frees you from the clinginess, from the neediness, from any dysfunction you might have with your loved ones. Another breath. And then float that left leg back and up. Wouldn't that allow you, roll the left foot on the ankle, to love them more truly? To love them more freely, to maybe love with less friction. Breathing here in your Vira 1. Opening up the heart. And then straighten that leg. Square the hips. And come on down into your pyramid. Softening that front knee just a bit so you're not hyperextending the knee. Head hangs heavy, fold down. Another breath. And float on up. And I know, especially if this is your first class, you might be like, whoa, she's throwing a lot at us. Breathing up. And then hands frame the foot as we come down into our standing split. So these are just questions. These are just things for you to kind of start planting seeds, start thinking about, right? Drop that foot back. Vira 1. Because I think for the vast majority of us, stepping off onto that left foot, we're going into our Ardha Chandrasana. So the left hand comes down. And you can also put your hand on a block if the ground feels very far away. And we're stacking hip on hip and we're floating the right arm up. Good focused gaze. Expand the arms like they're wings. Pouring energy down the leg, out the heel. And then step it back. Float on up. Vira 1. And then hands come down. Down dog. Walk your dog out. You know, when we show up through the ego, which is where we are, most of us, 95% of the time, when we're in relationship with those who we love, from a place of ego, we're constantly asking, your choice, child's pose, resting in down dog, or come with me. We're constantly asking for validation. Am I okay? Do you love me? Are we, am I still desirable? Am I lovable? Am I worthy? It's the ego, chirping, 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 constantly looking for reassurance. Come on down. And that can cause friction, right? Ashtanga Pranam, and then coming up into your Bhujangasana. Breathing here into this beautiful back bend, really feeling the heart blossom open. Just blossoming open into the question, just the exploration of, can I experience love as a way of consciousness, experience love between me and the universe, between me and spirit, or source, or God, whatever it is. Is that possible? Can I possibly open myself up to that? And then coming onto the knees. And again, Anahatasana. Excuse me. Yes, Anahatasana. Puppy dog stretch. Anahata, beam heart. So this is our heart pose. Head can come down onto a block or onto the mat, or maybe it's just kind of draping down a bit if it's hard for you to dip down. Open, 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 breathing into the underarms, breathing into the shoulders. Another breath. And then as you're ready, coming forward, plug the hands in, curl the toes, lift the hips, down dog. Walk your dog out. Head hangs heavy. Another breath. And then flip that right leg back and up, stretch it up. And roll the foot on the ankle. If you don't love three-legged dog, you can always skip this. And then step it forward. Coming into your Viratu. Taking Hrideya Mudra again. Hrideya is when we roll our index finger in and the tip of the thumb touches the middle finger and the ring finger. Palms are up. In our Viratu. Breathe in here. Just feel yourself opening to love. Opening to a new possible relationship with the universe, with love, with a different level of consciousness. Glide forward and come into your triangle. Maybe your hands are still in the mudra, maybe you drop them. And you can add a side angle arm to your triangle if that feels good. And then drop that arm down and around and come back into your Viratu. Another breath. And then hands other side of the foot, come on down. Tailbone lifts, head hangs heavy. Right. And let's come down into child's pose. Widen the knees, touch the toes, sit back. Taking maybe Anjali Mudra overhead, if that feels good. Or you can take Hrideya again. Whatever speaks to you. And allow the forehead to melt into the earth. Allow the heart to blossom down, blossom open. Opening the heart. Opening the heart to a deeper experience of love, a different level of consciousness. Another breath. And then release the mudra. Plug the hands in, curl the toes, lift the hips, down on top. And then if you like your three-legged dog, left leg reaches up. Roll the foot on the ankle. And step that left foot forward. Step the feet. We're coming up into Viratu. So longer stance. And lift it up. Taking your Hrideya Mudra. Breathe. Another breath. Straighten the leg and glide forward. Breath by breath, just feel yourself opening the heart. We talked a lot yesterday, day before yesterday I should say, about trust. About how we can regain trust in life, trust in the universe. And just as a reminder, adding in your side angle arm if you'd like. And then drop that arm down and around. Just as a reminder, an important shift for us to make when it comes down to developing trust is that the universe does nothing to us. Everything that the universe does, everything that life does, is done for us. Hands either side of the foot, come on down. Down dog. We refer to those as blessings. Lessons that are blessings. Blessings. Even when they're painful. Another thing we mentioned on Friday is that there is no doubt that pain in life is inevitable. Suffering is optional. Another breath. And drop those knees down. Hands under shoulders. Knees under hips. And the untethered soul, inhale, lift up, which is by Michael Singer, talks about this a lot. How we can experience life and then just let it go so that it doesn't become lodged within us. It doesn't become stuck. Because when it becomes stuck, that's when we close our hearts. And when we close our hearts, that's when, our experience of love shifts into a very egoic state where we become needy. We can be clingy. We can be shut down. All of these things, right? And exhale, arch. Curl the toes under. Reaching back, we'll take rabbit pose. So with rabbit pose, maybe the forehead comes down all the way to the earth. Maybe you need to put it on a block. You reach back and you catch, for me, it's always my pinky toes, making sure the pads of the toes are on the mat, lightly gripping the soles of the feet. And then come on up, light, 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 light on the top of the head. Holding onto the soles of the feet, so you're really opening the back part, opening up the shoulders. Virtually no pressure in the top of the head. And breathe. You're feeling this beautiful blossoming open of the back part, this beautiful stretch. Another breath. And release down. Hands come up either side of the knees. And take a seat. Grabbing your block. We're going to do the breath of light. Breath of light. So taking a comfortable seat in Sukhasana or whatever suits you. Hands are on the knees. Shoulders are down the back. And with the breath of light, I invite you to close your eyes. And we're going to sniff the breath in 7 portions, as if you're breathing in love, and feel how with every breath you're expanding this beautiful green light. Anahata, the color is green. And it's at the heart space, this beautiful, as if you are a lighthouse. And then we hold the breath at the top. We hold it while we're full of breath. And then we exhale in 7 rounds. So it's exhale, 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 exhale 7 times until we're empty. And then we sit. So with every inhale, we're brightening, 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 brightening this light at the heart. Feel ourselves opening to love, opening to this sense of consciousness, being plugged in to love, not as an emotion, but a state of being. Knowing that there is this quantum realm, this, this incredible, if you're a Star Wars fan, you can think of it as the Force, right? Whatever it is that speaks to you, that makes sense to you, we're opening ourselves up so we can experience love. Experience. This is not an emotion. This is a state of being. It's a consciousness. It's a way that we open our minds, open our hearts. Okay, so again, we sniff in 7 inhales. Always brightening our heart, brightening our heart, brightening our heart, brightening our heart, and we hold. Eyes can be rolled up and in Sambhave Mudra. And then we exhale, 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 exhale. And we hold the breath out. And again, this is breath of light. So we inhale, inhale, and every inhale, as if the light in the heart is brightening and brightening and brightening and brightening, pouring out of Anahata Chakra. Beautiful green light, this sense of just prosperity and abundance and love. Our hearts are open. We're open, we're open, we're open. And then we hold at the end of 7 inhales. Hold the breath in. Feel our hearts expand. And then we exhale, exhale, exhale. And you do this at your own comfort level. If you'd like to hold the breath longer, beautiful. If you want to just hold it for a moment, beautiful. It's your experience. And one of the things that Anand says, which is so powerful, is he says that we can talk and talk and talk, and we can have these mantras. Keep on going with the breath of light. We can have these mantras of, I am love, I am soul, you know. But if we don't experience it, if we don't feel it, if we don't feel our hearts opening, if we don't feel love in our heart, then it's just words. It's just words, right? So it's not about memorizing, it's not about the cool mantra, it's not about this, it's about feeling it in our heart. And again, this is a process. You know, if you have some real challenge with trust, just know that you've taken the first step, and it's a process. It's something where we have to remember to do the Kaizen, incremental change, just a little bit. If I open my heart just a little bit, if I, you know, just start to explore the possibility of that, yeah, maybe there is something to this universal consciousness, which is this foundation of love that I can plug into. Okay, just exploring it, right? Let's do 2 more rounds. Remember, we inhale in 7 parts. We hold the breath, feeling the light shining out of our heart. And then we exhale in 7 breaths. And then we sit and hold the breath, exhale externally. 1 more round. Breath of light coming off of your block, coming onto your back. Let's hug those knees in. Rock it out. Swim the knees around. Soles of the feet on the earth, and let's windshield wiper the knees back and forth. Looking in one direction as the knees drop down the other way. Inhale, lift up. Exhale, other direction. Just going back and forth, just wringing out the spine. Letting go. Remember that the emotions, depending on where you're challenged with trust, because we have to trust the universe in order to feel comfortable, to feel safe, to open our hearts, right? That's why we did all that work in the first 3 chakras. And as I shared with y'all on Friday, just a reminder, or maybe new information for those who weren't there, waggle it out. If you struggle a lot with fear, that's first chakra. Second chakra is guilt or shame. And if there's one last pose that would really resonate with you before we go into Shavasana, go ahead and do that now. Third chakra, the shadow side, is anger. So depending on where your challenges are, you kind of have a little bit of a roadmap of, okay, I need to work on my first chakra or my second chakra or my third in order to be able to trust in the universe to open up my heart. So letting go of the thinking mind, letting go of all this yoga philosophy exploration. Just let go. Feel the heart melt down. Feel the heart open up, just on its own, without any effort on your part. You're just relaxing down, releasing down. The heart is open. Feeling yourself open to abundance, open to prosperity, open to love. So today's poem is by Dana, and the title of it is The Soul of Yoga. And Dana writes, what is the soul of yoga? Follow your heart into the center of the pose and find in the midst of detail and precision, in breath, alignment, balance, bliss, fear, and sadness. At the very core of all of this is love. Touch upon your truest nature even once, and the experience of what you really are sears the psyche like the surface of the sun. The soul of yoga, the gift within the pose, is the moment of communion, resting in pure essence, the awakening as if from sleep to the face of unmistakable divinity, the ineffable wonder and living reality of spirit. Oh yes, the soul of yoga is love. So that's at the heart of this whole practice, us opening our hearts so that we can touch upon our truest nature, so that the experience of what we really are sears our psyche to being open to being so much more. So much more. You have the potential of such abundance, such love, You have such potential within you. And that's why we're doing this work of opening our hearts to that reality. Breathing here. And then as you're ready, bringing movement back into the body. Wiggling fingers and toes. Maybe rolling the head on the neck, rolling the hands on the wrists. Roll the feet on the ankles. And then roll over onto the right side and cradle the heart. And give yourself the biggest hug. Sending yourself so much love. So much love, so much gratitude for just exploring this path. Wherever you are on the path is where you should be. Letting go of judgment. Just meeting yourself with compassion. And gently press yourself up into an easy seat. And let's yam out. The Bija mantra of Anahata is yam. Yam. So hands at the heart space, pressing the base of the thumbs into the sternum. Nice big inhale.